Our school sat on the eastern edge of New Terra, where human families, settlers, and visiting alien diplomats lived side by side, sometimes peacefully, sometimes tensely. But the day the doors slid open and Professor Lishera Velith, ambassador of Zarati Educational Exchange, stepped in, every kid in Class 4B went silent. She was tall, elegant, silver-skinned, with four luminous eyes that glowed like shifting stars. Her voice, when she finally spoke, vibrated across the classroom like music and thunder combined. Greetings, humans. I will be your educator for the next lunar cycle. Most of us stared in awe. A few stared in fear. But she stared at us with contempt. Not even subtle contempt, open, regal disdain. As I understand your species, she began, you are primitive, impulsive, emotionally unstable, and ruled by conflict. Yet the council requests that I teach you. Very well. I shall attempt to make something functional from this clay. Her eyes narrowed at us. And I expect you to try not to disappoint me. The room held its breath. Except me. My name is Theo Albright, and at 12 years old, I had the reputation of asking too many questions, thinking too deeply, and getting into trouble without meaning to. Not a great combo. But even I knew this teacher hated being here. Even I knew she hated us. Beginning, a teacher who wanted to break us. The first week was rough. Really rough. Professor Lishera didn't just teach. She judged, mocked, and dismantled everything she could about humanity. When we studied biology, she said, human brains are adequate, like a lantern in a cave, dim, fragile, easily shattered. When we studied history, she scoffed, your wars are meaningless. You fight over dirt and ideology, while higher civilizations fight over star forges. Once, when my friend Kara mispronounced a Zarati word, Lishera closed all four eyes and said calmly, it is astonishing how your species survives without understanding basic articulation.
Ouch.
Still, we tried, mostly out of fear. But she never stopped criticizing. One day, during a lesson about galactic ethics, she looked around the room and asked, why is your species so obsessed with emotional response? Why do you attach meaning to weakness? No one answered. She clicked her mandibles in irritation. You cannot grow if you cling to sentimentality. Emotion clouds judgment. Logic rules the universe. Most kids agreed just to keep her calm. But I didn't. Because it felt wrong. And also because I was tired of being talked down to. So, stupidly, I raised my hand. Professor? Her eyes rotated toward me like I was a noise, not a person. Yes, human child, emotion isn't weakness. It's how we understand each other. She tilted her head. Explain. And I froze. Because how do you explain something so human to someone who hated everything human? I'll think about it, I muttered. She exhaled, annoyed. Do so quickly. This class moves forward with or without you. It should have ended there, but it didn't. The middle, the assignment that changed everything. 2 weeks later, Professor Lishera gave us an unusual assignment. She stood at the front, shimmering in the classroom lights. Your task, she said, is to answer a simple question. What is humanity's greatest strength? The room buzzed. Limit your answer to one sentence. Simplicity reveals truth. Kids looked excited. Easy assignment. Just one sentence. Then she added, I do not expect to be impressed. And the excitement died instantly. She read answers aloud the next day. Humanity's greatest strength is technology. Primitive. Our adaptability. Overstated. Our teamwork. Questionable, considering your war history. Oh, here is one. Humanity loves. That is sentimental nonsense. Kids squirmed in their seats as she shredded each answer with elegant cruelty. Then she read Kara's. Humanity's greatest strength is curiosity.
She paused.
Almost acceptable. Kara beamed. Really? Almost, Lishara repeated, slicing the hope neatly in half. Then she picked up my paper. My stomach dropped. I had rewritten my answer 10 times the night before. I didn't want it to sound childish. I didn't want her to mock me. But I also wanted it to be true. Her 4 eyes scanned my writing. Humanity's greatest strength is that we try again, even when we fail. The room went still. She lowered the paper slowly. Explain, she said. It's just what humans do, I whispered. We fall. A lot. We mess up.
Sometimes really badly.
But we keep going. We keep trying. Even when it hurts. Even when it seems pointless. Even when we want to give up. Her eyes flickered. That is inefficient. Yeah, I said. But it's who we are. The class watched us like a live duel. She didn't mock it. She didn't scoff. Instead, she moved on. Almost too quickly. Something had changed. The shift. Cracks in the armor. From that day on, Professor Lishara wasn't the same. Not nicer. She didn't suddenly become friendly, but something in her expression softened. She still corrected us harshly, but there was thought behind it rather than arrogance. And sometimes she watched us differently, like she was searching for something she didn't yet understand. 2 weeks after the assignment, the school held its annual cultural exchange day, where all species share their traditions. Humans painted murals. The silicon-based Vexori built crystalline sculptures. Even the tiny zephyri insects played music by vibrating their wings. Professor Lishara stood in the corner, observing. Not participating. Not smiling. Not interacting. Just watching. Alone. I don't know why I walked up to her. Maybe I felt sorry for her. Maybe I wanted to prove something. Maybe both. You're not joining in? I asked. Observation is adequate. She glanced at the others. My presence would disrupt the event. Why? I asked. Because, she said quietly, my kind does not partake in such displays. She hesitated. Enjoyment is not encouraged. I frowned. Doesn't that get lonely? Her breath caught. Lonely. She didn't respond. Instead, she turned away. But something in her posture, just a slight slouch, told me I had hit a nerve. The breaking point. The question that changed everything. 2 days later, she assigned another one-sentence reflection. Simple question. What do humans desire most? Again, she read answers aloud. Safety. Love. Success. Happiness. Freedom. She dismissed them all. Then she reached the last paper. A small one. From the quietest kid in class, little Mira Santos, who barely ever spoke. Her eyes were always down. She had trouble making friends. Trouble speaking up. Trouble believing in herself. Professor Lishara unfolded her tiny paper. Her eyes widened. She read aloud. Humans want someone to stay. The classroom fell silent. The teacher didn't speak. She didn't breathe. She just stared at the sentence. Why this? Lishara finally whispered, voice trembling. Mira swallowed nervously. Because sometimes people leave. And it hurts. And humans, we just want someone who won't. The alien teacher's 4 luminous eyes glistened. Actually glistened. Not a trick of the light. Not imagination. She was crying. Silent. Shaking tears running down her silver cheeks. The classroom froze. We didn't know what to do. Professor Lishara blinked rapidly and steadied herself, but her voice cracked. My people do not stay, she whispered. We serve. We depart. We obey necessity, not attachment.